Hello everybody, welcome to the TestLG Season 3 Formula 2 World Drivers' Championship. We are here for the 10th round of the season here at La Vendée, France. It's been a long season. 4 races left. 4 races left. We'll be going to New York, Korea, Japan, and UAE to finish off the season. And what a season it has been for Formula 2. So many different winners, so much drama. And it's drama after drama in each race. And a long story across the season. And Season 4 could be an even bigger story for Formula 2. I'm not joined by anybody in the commentary box today. It'll just be me. So I'll do the best I can to deliver a solo show today at La Vendée, and not much longer to go now before qualifying. There's a bit of a poor attendance, so yeah, we'll have to see what happens when we do go green for qualifying. So 15 minutes qualifying, then of course 3-minute break, and then we will start the race. The Grand Prix, 0% chance of rain. It will be dry all throughout. We'll be racing for 18 laps with a added formation lap. So, anticipation's building up across the paddock, I think, for a weekend which is going to be an interesting one. Yep. And I just need to set the timer and stuff. Hope I didn't wreck it. So 2 more drivers join the leaderboard at the same time. And so I think the anticipation over the weekend is simply reasonable, and yeah, it's one of those tracks where I feel like a lot of drivers might be able to make an impact. And well, it's one of those things where you're coming to the end of the season, you've got decisions to make as a driver, decisions to make as a team principal, and it's definitely one of those things where it's an important decision to make. Where you're gonna go, what are you gonna do, and I think it's big decisions all around, and the build up to Season 4 IAR is one to do, and it's definitely one of those things where anticipation to the end of the season, and I think, well, I'm going to say this, I think the biggest making of skill, the biggest way to show who was truly fastest on the grid, I think it is going to be New York, Korea, and Japan. Whichever driver comes out on top after those 3 races will be goated. Because simply, it's 3 skill-based tracks, maybe Korea not so much, but it's one of those triple headers that requires skill. Japan and New York are precise street circuit tracks. You need to be perfect, you need to be precise, you need to be fast. And if you're not, then you're going to drown. Korea is more of a luck-based circuit. You have to hope that the bumps don't kill you, but then you also have to hope that you have to be wise enough to avoid the bumps, and then that adds a bit more wiseness and skill-based aspect to an already luck-based track that does require some skill on the surface. And of course, Abu Dhabi is a track that everybody is fond of. And somebody already dying on the pit lane as we get going. Yeah, New York is nice, but it's tricky. And we're going. Yeah, Old York. Old York. Yeah. Yeah. Reset leaderboard. Oh, yeah. You're right. My bad. There we go. Yep. Ion's a bit buggy today, so. Yeah. 8:31. Yeah. So. There we go. Out on the track. 14 cars, which is low attendance compared to what we usually get, but hopefully hopefully it'll populate up as we go through here. And the championship battle between Jossie and I think Will at the front of the field. Let me check the F2 standings. Between Jossie and Will, I think it's a title battle that is being lost. 113 points for Jossie, 92 points for Will, and is almost behind Errors in the standings. So I think this could be a big catch-up weekend for Will. Jossie is fast, and I think Alpine, this is a big week for them. It's their home race weekend, and they've got to put the hammer down and try their hardest now. And it's very good to do well at home race, and home races you get a lot of support. It's one of those things. It's a special condition where your country might love your team unconditionally, and to do well at your home country is so important. So could this be maybe a do well weekend for Jossie and score another win? And if Jossie keeps bagging these wins, he'll win the championship probably early, as we saw from Jesse in Season 2. The title battle for Formula 1 could be over soon enough. Stealthy bagged another win. 170 points for Stealthy, 146 for Barley Pepe and Chris. They're tied. And Pi Luca 72 points, Pudge 69, Bigasuga 54, and so on. And for the first time in SLG history, Haas have hit 304 points, which means that for the first time ever in SLG, a team has managed to reach over 300 points. The benchmark was in the 250s, 270s, set by AlphaTauri in Season 2 when they won the Constructors' Championship, as they have done for the past 2 seasons in F1. And they will not continue that streak into Season 3, as Haas look to be wrapping up the Constructors' Championship early with their 2 drivers, Barley Pepe and Stealthy, going for the big run. However, next season is going to be a lot more competitive. Pi Luca's leaving. We've had Rush leave, retire as well. He did 1 race in Formula 2 for SLG and was a commentator back at Hungary, just for his last race. Stealthy is going to be leaving, Chris will be leaving, AMW will be leaving, and Barley Pepe will be leaving, and probably some more drivers leaving that I don't know about. And with this big shift in the tide, it's going to be interesting to see if we could have another Season 2 replica again. And yeah, that's one of the big things. Can you have another Season 2 on your hands with a close championship battle? Is that something, you can have, or is going to run away from you? And I think in a slower field of cars, in a more closer field of cars, that's when the racing really starts to come together. And it'll be interesting. Season 4, definitely Formula 2 Season 4 will be one of the closest title battles we've ever seen, simply because with all these drivers going out and the grid spread of Formula 2, I think it will be very close. Formula 1, I'm not so sure. It could be Bigasuga time. It could be Bigasuga domination. He is fast, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see, what's going to happen in Season 4. And, there's a lot of anticipation I think for that season, the first season that we'll use on Apex Racing, and hopefully we'll solve many of the issues drivers complain about, such as bumps and etc. etc. So mainly for the focus this weekend is you have to be sharp, you have to be precise. It's same as the next race when we go to New York. It's basically a slower New York, but with the barriers not 5 meters away from the track. And drivers, I think, will be fond of that. The corner cuts at France are very severe. You can get 3 to 5 corner cuts from just one corner, especially at the chicane down after the straight. That's one of the big places. And I think, well, maybe it's one of those things where, it's such a skill-based track, it's such a technical track, and to get it right is very important. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see, I think, and what you can manage to do, and that in its own right is being at the front is very good. And you might see drivers dropping out of the race throughout, and then that bumps you up a place or two, and just going through the race on a quest. And I think being able to recover yourself, and at a track like this, which is very difficult, only the most skilled drivers can really manage a perfect race. And penalties, they'll lose you more than 5 seconds. I know it's a 5-second slowdown, but you lose more slowing down and then drivers catching up. You lose more than 5 seconds on the surface. On the surface, it's 5 seconds. On the bottom, it's more like 7 or 8 that you lose. So you've got a lot more to lose in a penalty than you do trying to keep it safe and out of trouble. And that's a skill that I think only the best drivers can have, keeping it out of trouble, keeping it out of corner cuts. And if you can manage to do that, if you can manage to keep it without penalties, you could capitalize on something. And yeah, it's very, very important to get things right. Of course, to be a front-running driver in Formula 2 is, I think, something that's stumbled a few drivers. I think Erez and Will will have a big fight for second place, and if Jossie crashes out, then we could see a 3-way fight between Erez, Will, and Jossie, because then that would give the Brawn and the Williams chances to catch back up in the standings. And Erez won 2 races in a row, I think. Will won in Malaysia, and Jossie's just been all around up there, and that's what's allowed him to get ahead, and his lack of DNFs. So I think really it's one of those things where you look at it and you go, how is it going to play out? And I think the anticipation over a weekend is you don't know how it's going to go. In Iron League, you never know how it's going to go. And at some tracks really deliver that. And where it's a unique track, especially with South Korea. South Korea and Japan, I think, are very unique tracks for the order. Because South Korea and Japan are tracks where you just don't know who's going to be ahead. You don't. And that's the thing. Skill can only carry so far, but to be just naturally good at one track other than others can be a bit of an advantage gained. But there's always going to be fast drivers that may be still faster than you out there. And for that, it's, I think, very, very important. Yeah. 5 minutes 40 to go. That'll be qualifying. And I'm a bit tired. 8:30 usually this is for me, but once daylight savings are over, it's back to 7:30 for the Oceanics. It doesn't actually change it. It's just a timestamp that goes back 1 hour. So it doesn't affect anybody that's outside of the daylight savings thingy. Anyways, the grid spread here is looking a bit interesting. You've got 3 113s, then you've got 3 114s, then you've got a 115, 116, 118, there's another 114. The grid spread's very, it's very spread out between 113s and whatever. And Senna is on a purple sector 1, 800ths of a second up. And Senna's bottled it and yeah, that that was going to be a good lap. It would have been a 1:13 to take him to the front, and that went to the chicane. Something happened. He must have gotten a warning and then just immediately aborted the lap, because when I saw him, he was going up on the wall. He was flying off the wall, so he probably got a warning and then decided to abort it. And that there. So it's Fabio, Jossi, Will, Yeet, Yeet and then Will in the 113s, then Senna, Erez and F500, Form and Enzo in the 114s, Good, Webby, Vietnam, Combo and Rose Q, who hasn't managed to set a proper lap yet and is stuck with a 146. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see today who's going to come out on top. Could be a 3-way fight, 4-way fight, because the qualifying times are close, but it's about that race pace and having that. You can be a qualifying merchant or you could be a race merchant, and I think you'd rather be a race merchant, because then at least you can come back, and of course if other people crash, you capitalize on that. So 3 minutes 30 to go. And I'm not seeing any massive improvements from the front runners at the moment. I'm checking the sectors. I'm not seeing too many improved sectors here. Not too many drivers here today. 14 is probably one of the worst attendances we've had all season. It's still good, just a lot less from what we have normally. And, well, in a few minutes' time, in about 5 minutes' time, we are going to be racing. And it's always like a heart sink moment. It's always a heart sink moment when you're lining up on the grid or you're going to the grid. It's always a bit of a heart sinking moment, like your stomach just sinks. And you get that feeling of it's time to race now. Don't mess it up. And I think that's what the drivers feel when they're going to the grid. I know what it feels like to have your stomach sink on the way to the grid. Just get that feeling. I know what it feels like. And Rose Q sets a proper lap and goes second fastest, provisional front row. And with 2 minutes to go, tensions are rising. Vietnam is disconnected now. And this now is very big matters, because if you can get in at the last second, get that lap in, it's going to be good for you. Rose Q, he doesn't get pole, and Yeet now is on a flyer. It's another purple sector lap, just like Erez. He's got the Audi in his way there. He's not gotten the corner cuts. That was the Audi of Formula 1 Sport. And Elvis is here now. Elvis. And as he goes through here onto sector 2, and he's another purple sector. He's a whole 10th and more up. And this is qualifying pace. He's gotten 2, 3, 4 Formula 2 poles before. Not sure the exact amount, but it's many. And can he make it? Another one. This is it. The last chance to get a lap in. You can get one more lap in, but you won't have the fuel to do it. So that's it. He crosses the line now. It's not been a foul lap. It's pole position by 0.3 of a second. 1:13.184. And it is pole position. Fabio won't be able to snatch it back. And Rose Q can still do a lap. Jossi won't be able to take that one in. Could Will set pole maybe. But Rose Q, he's the last one now that could try and take pole position. He's already off his lines a bit and it's not worked. It's not worked. And can Will do anything now? He is also on his hot lap now as he goes through the hairpin onto the long straight. And these cars will do around 300 to 400 kilometers an hour down this straight. Very, very fast. He's 600th of a second off of his best lap time, 1:13.9. Alec is now here, so now the attendance is starting to pick back up. And Alec So Elvis and Alec There's 3 bronze. There's 3 bronze. Alright, so that's it. Qualifying is over. I don't know what to think of that qualifying. I mean, Fabio hasn't really been in F2 much. But the weekend he did attend in Formula 2, he managed second. Silent got pole by around 3/10. And so that's your grid right there on the leaderboard for the race. And I think it's going to be an interesting one. I am not sure, but I know it's going to be an interesting one. I mean, you got all these drivers here. It's really going to be a circus here of drivers fighting for position on track, especially at a circuit like this. You know, it's very technical for these guys, and you just got to get it right. So I think, yeah, it'll be interesting. But Elvis and Alec are pit starts, and race will start at 8:48 Australian Eastern Standard Time, or just XX48 if you are in a different time zone. And we're going to get going soon. So here we go. It's going to be on soon. So predictions, well, I don't know. Silent hasn't had the best of luck in races, so it could be a bit tricky, but and it is time to start the qualifying, I believe. Just give the drivers a bit more, just need to post the results. And I believe we are ready to go out onto the racetrack and race. Alright, let's start this race. Yeah. And it is time to race. So it's Silent from Fabio. Let me find the grid sheet real quick. So Rose, Will, Rossi out of Will. And here we go. No, I'm not speaking. Let me check. No, sorry. Alright, it's time to race here at La Vendée. 5 red lights. And it slides out, and away we go. And I think Senna jump started there. I think that was a jump start from Senna. I'm not entirely sure. Then Pit go, and as they go through, I think Silent losing places. Fabio and Jossi trying to get through, and yeah. It's all calamity at the start, and as they head down the hill now, Fabio losing places. Senna might be investigated for a jump start, and I only see 2 brawns, so that's good. So yeah. And I'll have to rejoin commentary because I think people said they can't hear me. So I'll just do a quick pop out and pop in as quick as I can. Alright, and I'll invite Big Asuga onto the stage as well. Alright, should be able to hear me now. And Senna leads after a very good reaction time. And then it's Silent. I think Ares has dropped back a little bit. He did get the fastest lap on that form lap, but it won't count because it took place on the form lap. And Will Martin is at the front with Jossi behind. And Ares is up. That's a Brawn 1-2. Ares now, I think, official fastest lap. Yep, Ares official fastest lap of the race because he set it on a racing lap, not the formation lap. And as they head down the hill now, here they go, and safety car window opens on lap 4. So Big Asuga, make sure you are ready with your endurance car to deploy, because that window opens on lap 4, closes on lap 15 for the safety car. So as they go through, Big Asuga, you're gonna get this video taken. Okay. As they go through into sector 3, it's one of the more technical sectors on the track, I think, as well as the first couple corners. And Yeet trying to get past Sen Alonso. This is the lead for the race. And then there's Jossi, Will, there's Enzo and Rosekill at the back. Fabio's had a horrible start. He's dropped down to 8th with his teammate. And Fabio running wide again there. He's had a horrible start from the front row. Lost about 6 places. And as he comes through, Yeats takes the fastest lap of the race. 117.464. And still not past San Alonso quite yet. But as they go down the straight, it will be a race of power, car engine power. Who's got the best exit? Who's got the better straight line speed? ERS, it all matters. Into the chicane, more technical corners on this track, and then another long straight to stretch things apart again. And you have to be very careful about the corner cuts to make sure you don't get a penalty. Some corners will give you straight up 3 to 5 corner cuts in one go, so you have to be very careful. Silent still on the gearbox of Senna, and Jossi and the rest have dropped back a little bit on lap 3 of the race already, and Senna Alonso picks up the fastest second sector. He's trying to chase his way out of it, and through the rest of the corners there you go. And a little drift there from the Aston Martin. Jossi went a bit off. There's Errors and Will trying to go side by side. Enzo ahead of Fabio, then Rose and Blake, F500 and Vietnam are all fighting for the bare minimum points here. And Alec, after a pit start, is in 14th place at the moment. Webby down in last place, 15th. And Senna has pulled a big gap to Yeet now. And that's Errors, I think, edging ahead of Jossi. Bit by bit, he gets ahead. Has he gotten the move done by the time they get to the hairpin? No. They're still side by side a little bit. And Senna, fastest in the first sector by 10th. So he's picking up the pace to the Aston Martin. And this is the game of Tom and Jerry. Now it's a cat chase to the end. Is it going to be to the end? Safety car window is open. And now, running away, Senna, Yeet, and I think Errors is ahead of Jossi. Let's ride on board. It's hard to tell because the car's jiggling around with the lag. But I think Errors is ahead there. And yeah, this is a bit of a... And through here, Errors definitely is ahead of Jossi now. And Senna Alonso, Yeat's drawn that gap a bit now, but he did get a warning in that last sector. A lot of drivers are getting warnings through that last sector. Fabio, Rose, good. F500, Elect, they're all getting warnings through that second sector. F500 got warnings through the second and third sector. Senna Alonso yet to get those warnings. And as they go through here, onto the long, and he's getting, into here. And it's very technical, these corners of the track. Not much to say other than just watch the racing and enjoy the show. And Combo's out of the race. And that is smack bang in the middle of the track. That is a safety car. And yeah. And we should see a big Asuga in the safety car. And Will in the pit lane. There's tyres on that car. And there is Big Asuga in the safety car at 10-1, yep. Safety car wait at 10-1 for the leaders. So, there it is. And there's another car on track. Will overtook. Did Will overtake? And... well, they're all going to come into the pit lane. So... and that is the Brawn GP that overtakes Yeats while he was in the pit lane. And Anyways, so Senna leads from Erez, Yeet, Enzo, Jossie, Will, Rose Q, then Vietnam, F500, Fabio Super Cools. He started on the front row. Then F500 form Webby and Combo. Slow down a bit. That is leaving the cars in the dust. Leaving the Formula 1 cars in the dust. And that is Webby. And no, it's Good that's cracked. Good has jumped the fence. Alright. Drivers are still far behind. So they will restart in 1 to 3 laps time. And more cars diving into the pit lane now. And that's Webby. No, that's F500 and the McLaren jumping onto the grass. And yeah, it's going to be a bit of a wait, I think, for those cars to catch up. And they are so far behind as well, Jesus. Alec is, I think, at the back of this train, or not quite. No, he will be. He will be. Big Asuka's like the teacher. Like the teacher's pet or something. Yeah, stop. So there's still some more drivers that need to catch up. Form Webby and F500. If they take too long, we just go anyway because we can't wait forever for them. So we've already lost 2 cars. Safety car in this lap. Let me see. Leader control pace. And the leader has gone. Senna's gone as early as he can. He's built up that gap so much. Wow, that gap is massive. And I think Yeet... Did Yeet get ahead of Erez there? I think Yeet got ahead of Erez there. Safety car, have to give that back. Then there's Enzo, Vietnam Airlines, and Vietnam Airlines very much so jumping that car up. And then the 2 Williams side by side with the Alpine of Rose Q trying to get through as well. So it's all close battling on the restart of safety car. Yeats fastest in the first sector by 2.6 tenths. Massive. As Senna now also gets a warning. So his first warning of the race. Safety car window closes on lap 15. And shout out to Big Asuga for my Hungry Hot Lap video. And safety car here at France. So shout out to him. And this is a very tight battle here. And France is silent, goes wide. Collects it back onto the track fast, but he's gained so many tenths. 3.4 tenths in that second sector. He's chasing down Senna. And this is a game of Tom and Jerry. And Jossie all the way down in 9th place. and he's good at conserving those ties. We've seen that in the past, and there's a huge midfield battle here, and Senna gets a penalty. Senna has a penalty. He's dropped behind Rose Q. He's dropped to around 8th, 9th place at the bottom of the points, and that means Yeet leads with the fastest lap, 1:16.6, and he has got Vietnam and Erez behind him in 3rd and 2nd. That will chase him down now to the end. Before he was chasing the lead, now he is running away from 2nd place, and now he was chasing the lead, now defending the lead. He's gained a whole another 10th in this sector, absolutely flying, already built that gap up, not quite out of the DRS yet. And Erez is chasing him, is chasing that win. He could add a 3rd, 4th win, whatever the tally is, could add a 3rd win to his F2 win collection this season. And it is rain. No, it's dry. If it does rain, quickly switch it back to dry. If it starts raining, I'll switch it back to dry because it's only meant to be dry. So Erez is yet to make a pit stop. Same with Enzo and same with Combo. Fabio has made 3 pit stops. So no wonder why he's down in 8th. Yeah, and here we go, Vietnam, 3rd place, followed by Rose, Enzo. There's a massive battle going on here, and Senna's got to pick off all these places. Jossi at Alpine's home race down in 9th, and then F500 just in the points. Then Alec fighting Form, which is a battle he has lost. Form got a corner cut there, and the Audis down in 12th and 13th. Senna got another warning, same as Enzo in the Mercedes. And he's fighting with Fabio. Rose Q will. It's a giant battle here, and Vietnam has managed to escape the bulk of it, but he hasn't escaped it totally. And safety car window does close in 3 laps, and Erez has a slowdown penalty. Erez has a slowdown penalty as Enzo comes into the pit lane. I think he already pit Senna and Fabio trading fastest first sectors there. Fabio didn't get a corner cut that lap, unlike Senna. And Alec also dives into the pit lane. And so Alec now in the pit lane. Enzo comes out in 12th place, bottom of the barrel. And Yeet leads now by 4 seconds to Vietnam. Then Rose Q, the 2 bronze penalties, led them down into the field. But penalties can happen to anybody with the corner cuts. You got to stay safe. And that is Rose Q. And yeah, just massive battles going on here at the moment. And San Alonso now is, I think, leading this pack. Vietnam trying to hold on that podium as much as he can. He still will be on the podium, but he's got to carry it as much as he can. And is still hanging on to that 2nd place. San Alonso is now ahead, though, up into 2nd place. And he gets to chase down Yeet again, who's gotten a warning. I don't think it was a penalty, but if he gets one more cut, it will be a penalty. So here we go. And down the hill, still a massive battle all the way through. And next lap, the safety car window will close. And look at this battle. And that's the 2 bronze of Erez and Senna. Erez is ahead of his teammate. And Vietnam has dropped off the podium, which is actually very sad. I would have loved to see Vietnam on the podium. And I think they've dropped back. They've dropped back. Senna and Erez have dropped back more. That gap to silent. Now 6 tenths.
Hello.
Perez pits.
Hello.
Hello. And safety car window closed.
Biga.
Perez and Fabio Supercools pits. So Biga Sugar endurance cars are needed. Safety car window is closed, or should I say golden sugar?
Was I fast or slow?
No, you were good. You were good. Mate, you were fast at one point. You took off. Yeah. And
Will
something's
got
happened to Will.
penalty.
Oh, Will got a penalty. And I think Yeet, 4 more laps to go. He's got 7 seconds to Vietnam. Come on. Cheer on Vietnam. Come on, Vietnam podium. Everybody would love a Vietnam podium. Everybody would love it. And he's being
Senna's
chased
closing
down by
the gap.
Rose Q. Senna.
No, she got
Senna's
a
wide.
warning.
Senna's wide.
That's crazy.
And lap 16 now, 7-second gap. Is just counting those laps down now. Wait, Biga Suga, no, you're Greek. I was gonna say if this is what was your home race, but no, you're Greek. You're Greek, so. I don't think IAR is gonna have Greece, so you won't have a home race.
What? We already did, bro.
Yeah, but I'm saying IAR is not gonna have Greece.
Then I got another penalty, bro. It's crazy.
So, I want Vietnam second place. Come on. What happened to Senna? Senna got another penalty! Senna got another penalty! He's got 11 cuts. No, most cuts is 13 by Alec. George Russell's gonna be fuming because that's his driver. I'll invite him onto the stage now. Come on, George. Georgie boy, come on.
What the fuck is happening?
Well, Will's running in P5. He's chasing Jossie down for P4 and Alex 12.
That's a good thing.
And 20 seconds off 11th.
He's 12?
He's 12 and 20
this
seconds. 20 seconds off.
This guy is about to be sacked. Trust me. Look at this guy is the slowest one out of everyone. This guy can't even beat Enzo. Not even an Audi.
Yep.
This guy's tires are nearly gonna be dead anyway.
Alpi's
Will,
home
come
race.
on, Will.
Aston
Come on,
Martin
Will.
had a horrible home race. Fabio started on the front row.
Perfect.
Is 8th now. How did Fabio drop off so much? He's lost 6 places
Maybe
since
he
the
has
start
a
of the
lag
race.
or something.
Well, yeah, he's got
I'm
the
not
most
sure.
pit stops out of everyone. He's got 4 pit stops.
Wow.
Nah, he's angry right now. Look at him. He's doing
Is
purple.
Bigasuga hungry now?
Yeah.
He needs some food, I think. Senna's fighting Will for 5th place.
Yeah.
Hards versus
Oh my god, bro.
Bigasuga,
What was that burp?
Your entire voice just changed.
What do you mean?
Penultimate lap.
What do you mean?
Will's right behind Senna.
Yeah, Senna's got the fastest lap.
Come on, Will.
1:15.2. The funny thing is, wait,
Yo, Fabio, no.
Wait, can I say something?
No.
Can I say something?
And he's out of the points.
Wait, yeah. George, can I say something to you?
Yeah.
Alec didn't set
a time in quali.
Alec didn't get to set a time in quali. He showed up too late.
Stupid. I hate this guy.
Okay, so what?
That's going in league news. Tensions between Alec and Williams TP souring. That's going in the headlines.
No, Fabio, another penalty.
George, you know what the funny thing is? your driver Alec is in the commentary VC right now. He's listening to
Oh,
what you're saying.
hell no.
Hell no. No,
Alec,
no, you're
you're-
messing him up. You're distracting him.
Alec, you better be listening.
Yeah.
You're washed. You're not in your prime. It's final lap, boys.
Okay. And now,
This guy
silent.
is what?
Oh,
Silent. Start.
Hey,
Who's Z humanoid? Kick Z humanoid.
Kick Electric. He's too bad.
no.
Kick guy.
No. Last lap commentary. And
He's too slow.
Silent starts the last lap. He's into the chicane. He's got around 5 seconds to Vietnam. It peaked at around 8 seconds. He won in Canada. He dipped down a little bit, and with Jossie down in 4th place, could this ignite the championship once again? Will and Erez are both behind Jossie. Erez is going to drop back massively, and he'll lose a grip on Jossie a little bit, but it'll all be to play for Silent. He had to win. He needs to win. And with Jossie down in 4th, that's cut him a little bit of the slack. It'll be his 4th win. He won 2 races back in Season 1 Formula 1. It was a long time before he won in Canada, and he's gonna win today in La Vendée. Silent reignites his championship hopes.
No,
and
no.
wins
Drive backwards.
French
Drive backwards.
feature
Oh,
race.
fuck you. Fuck you.
And Vietnam
You
gets
should drive
second
backwards.
place. Vietnam gets 2nd place.
Rose, podium.
Fabi can get Foster's luck here.
Yeah. Jossie 6. Jossie 6. That's going to disturb the championship so much. Well,
Fabi doesn't get Foster's luck.
we'll see you for the next race at New York. Bye-bye.